Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something we hear a lot about, customer loyalty,
Hmm.
but we're going to try to go a little deeper than just those surface level loyalty programs
Hmm.
and really get into how businesses can build those lasting connections with their customers, right?
Right.
So we've got this guide all about building emotional connections, right? Deep emotional connections.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it is jam-packed with insights.
I think what I found most interesting about this guide is how it challenges the old school idea of what loyalty is.
Yeah, right.
It's not just about discounts or freebies anymore. It's really about creating this genuine sense of connection.
Okay, so they call this emotional loyalty.
Exactly.
So it's about really getting to know your customer
Yeah.
beyond just what they're buying from you.
Absolutely.
But how do you even begin to measure something like that?
Well, I mean, think about it this way, right? We're all driven by emotions, right? Like every decision we make, even our buying decisions, are influenced by how we feel about something.
That's true.
So if a company can make us feel like valued and understood,
Mm-hmm.
we're way more likely to stick with them.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like finding that perfect coffee shop, where the vibes are great and the baristas know you by name, and even if there's one closer to you,
Right.
you just keep going back to that one
Exactly.
because it feels good, right? It's not just about the coffee anymore.
It's the feeling, right? You got it.
Yeah, it's that whole experience.
Exactly. And the guide actually cites research that shows that a whopping 62% of loyal customers
Wow.
feel a deep connection to the brands they buy from regularly. So it's
Mark.
not just a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's really a key indicator of why this emotional loyalty is so powerful.
Okay, I'm convinced emotional loyalty is important.
It is.
But the guide also talks about emotional intelligence, and I'll be honest, that sounds a little fluffy to me
Yep.
for the business world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How does that even work?
I know it sounds that way,
Yeah.
but it's actually incredibly practical when you really get down to it.
Okay.
So emotional intelligence is really all about understanding and managing emotions,
Yeah.
both your own and your customers.
Okay.
And it really all starts with empathy.
Empathy. Okay, so putting ourselves in the customer's shoes.
Exactly.
But that seems pretty basic, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is, but you'd be surprised how many companies just don't get it right.
Really?
It's not just about being nice,
Yeah.
right? It's about truly understanding what the customer is feeling
Mm-hmm.
and then validating their experience.
Okay.
It's about making them feel heard, even if they're frustrated or upset.
So you're saying there's a difference between being nice and being empathetic.
There's a huge difference, yeah.
Okay, so are there companies out there that are really nailing this whole empathy thing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because I can't imagine it's pretty hard to do consistently,
Sure, yeah.
especially for a large company,
Sure.
with tons of customers.
But the guide actually highlights Zappos, the shoe company.
Okay.
And they're known for their incredible customer service.
Hmm.
They've got this one famous story about a representative spending over 10 hours on a single call with a customer.
10 hours. I can barely stand to wait on hold for 10 minutes.
I know, right?
What in the world were they even talking about for 10 hours?
So it wasn't about making a sale or anything like that. The rep was literally just listening to the customer,
Yeah.
helping them through a personal situation, providing
Mhm.
support, resources, just that genuine human connection.
That's next level.
Right.
Customer service. It's not just about resolving an issue. It's you're really going above and beyond
Yeah.
to show that you care.
Exactly. And that's what sets Zappos apart.
Yeah.
They understand that building emotional loyalty sometimes means going above and beyond,
Mm-hmm.
even if there's no immediate profit in it, right?
Right.
And that dedication, it creates trust and loyalty that lasts.
Okay, so empathy's key. What else does this guide say about building these emotional connections with customers?
Well, another big one is personalization.
Okay.
And I don't just mean addressing your customer by their first name in an email blast.
Right.
It's about tailoring the entire experience to their individual preferences.
Yeah. Everyone loves to feel special.
Exactly.
But how do you actually do that though? How do you move beyond just sticking their name in an email? How do you make it meaningful?
It's about using data intelligently.
Okay.
So think about things like segmenting your customers based on like past purchases or their interests.
Mm.
You can offer personalized recommendations,
Okay.
even customize like the content they see on your website.
So like how Netflix always seems to know exactly what you're in the mood to watch.
Precisely. Their recommendation algorithm is like a masterclass in personalization.
It's true. They're good at it.
Even the thumbnails that they show
Yeah.
are customized based on like your viewing history.
Oh, really? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's incredibly sophisticated.
Wow. So it's like they're constantly fine-tuning the experience just for me.
Exactly.
And I have to admit, it keeps me engaged. It really does.
I mean, that's the power of it, right?
Yeah.
It makes every interaction feel relevant,
Yeah.
and that strengthens the emotional connection.
Okay, so we've got empathy, we've got personalization. What's next? What's the next piece of this emotional loyalty puzzle?
Well, this one's interesting. The guide dives into the power of authentic storytelling.
Okay.
We're bombarded with marketing messages all the time. But a good story always cuts through the noise.
I am a sucker for a good story, I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
But how do you actually use that in business? Like, how do businesses use storytelling to build loyalty?
It's about showcasing your brand values,
Yeah.
right? Your origin story, maybe even customer success stories.
Mm-hmm.
You're really showing that like human side of your business
Okay.
and connecting with your customers on that emotional level.
So would a company like Patagonia be a good example of that?
Absolutely. Patagonia, they're like masters of values-driven storytelling, right?
Mm.
Their focus on environmental responsibility is woven into everything they do,
Right.
from the products they design to the marketing campaigns they run.
Yeah, they're known for that.
And like their Wornwear program is a perfect example.
Yeah.
They actually encourage their customers to repair or recycle their old Patagonia gear instead of buying new stuff.
I love that.
Right.
It's not just about selling more products, it's like really living those values and inviting your customers to participate in that mission.
Exactly. And when you can do that, you create this really powerful sense of connection and loyalty that goes way beyond just the products themselves.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, so we've got empathy, personalization, storytelling.
Hmm.
What else is in this guide? How else can we build these strong emotional connections?
Okay, this one might surprise you. The guide actually suggests that negative feedback is a golden opportunity to build loyalty.
Wait, hold on. You're saying complaints are a good thing. I don't know if I'm following you.
It's not about the feedback itself, right?
Okay.
It's about how you handle it.
Okay.
So when a customer takes the time to give you feedback, even if it's negative,
Mm-hmm.
it means they care enough to want to see you improve.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's about turning what could be a negative interaction into a positive one.
I see. Okay, so do you have any examples of companies that are doing this well? Because that seems tricky, you know?
Yeah, Lego is a great example.
Ah.
They have this platform called Lego Ideas,
Okay.
where fans can actually submit ideas for new Lego sets.
Oh, that's cool.
Other fans vote on the ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And Lego actually produces sets based on those like most popular submissions.
Wow, so they're like crowdsourcing product development.
Exactly. And it's not just like a suggestion box that gets ignored.
Right.
They have a dedicated team that reviews these submissions.
Wow.
And they even publish like reports on which ones they're considering.
So it's really transparent. You're
It's
showing the fans that like their voices actually matter.
exactly.
That's cool.
And it's a brilliant way to foster this sense of community and build that loyalty.
Yeah, it really shows that they're taking the feedback seriously.
They are.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
It's not about tricks or gimmicks, you know?
Mhm.
Emotional loyalty is about building these genuine relationships
Sounds
with
correct.
your customers and showing them that you actually care, you know? It's about moving beyond just like simple transactions
Yeah.
to creating these real connections.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
In this first part of our deep dive into emotional loyalty, we've talked about empathy, personalization, storytelling, even how to use negative feedback to your advantage.
That's right.
But when we come back, we're going to explore another crucial element of building emotional loyalty, reward programs.
Yes.
But we'll look beyond just like, typical points and discounts
Right.
and uncover how to design programs that genuinely foster emotional engagement.
Awesome.
So don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
That Lego ideas thing, that's really impressive, It's
Yeah.
a great way to make your customers feel like like they're actually part of the process.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all about that sense of community.
So speaking of giving back to customers, let's talk about reward programs.
Okay.
I mean, everybody loves a good discount or a freebie, right? But this guide suggests that truly effective reward programs, they go beyond just like the points and the perks.
Mhm.
So what's that secret ingredient that makes a reward program really stand out?
Well, I think the key is to design a program that really fosters that emotional engagement,
Okay.
not just transactional loyalty, right?
Okay.
So think about things like exclusive experiences,
Okay.
personalized gestures,
Hmm.
recognizing customer milestones,
Okay.
even incorporating gamification
Okay.
to make it fun and engaging.
Yeah. So how do we actually put those ideas into practice?
Yeah.
Like, does the guide give any examples of companies that are doing this really well?
Yeah. Sephora's Beauty Insider program is a great example.
Okay.
It's a tiered program, so the more you spend, the more perks you unlock.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just about accumulating points.
Okay.
They offer exclusive events, early access to sales,
Mm-hmm.
birthday gifts,
Okay.
personalized recommendations based on your purchase history.
So it's like they've created this like VIP club
Yeah.
for makeup lovers, you know?
Exactly.
And it works because it makes people feel special,
Mm.
like they're part of something, you know?
Absolutely.
It's not just a number on a spreadsheet.
Yeah, it really taps into that desire to belong to a community, right? And it reinforces that emotional connection with the brand.
It's interesting because it seems like, a lot of companies are so focused on like getting new customers.
Yeah.
They kind of forget about the importance of taking care of the ones they already have.
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
Um, Acquiring new customers is obviously important for growth, right?
sure.
But it can be 5 times more expensive than retaining existing customers.
Wow, 5 times. I had
Yeah.
no idea it was that much.
Yeah. So investing in emotional loyalty,
Hmm.
it's not just about warm and fuzzy feelings.
Right.
It actually makes good business sense.
So it pays off, literally.
Oh, absolutely. The guides cite some pretty compelling statistics.
Okay.
For example, customers who are emotionally loyal to a brand are 70% more likely to stay with that brand
Wow.
and up to 60% more likely to spend more than first-time customers.
Okay, that's huge.
It is.
So these emotional connections, I mean, they really do pay off
They do.
in a very real way.
Mhm.
And then there's that other benefit.
Yeah.
That's a little harder to measure, but it's just as important.
Absolutely.
Advocacy.
Yeah.
So when customers are emotionally connected to a brand,
Mm-hmm.
they're more likely to become like brand advocates.
Yeah, they're your walking billboards.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't buy that kind of enthusiasm.
You can't. Word of mouth marketing is so powerful.
It's the best kind.
And it's built on that trust, those genuine positive experiences.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of different aspects of emotional loyalty.
Yeah.
Empathy, personalization, storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
using feedback effectively,
Yeah,
creating these amazing engaging reward programs.
for sure.
What's the big takeaway here? What do you really want our listeners to remember from all of this?
I think the most important thing to remember is that, emotional intelligence and empathy, they're not just buzzwords.
Right.
They're essential tools for building those lasting customer relationships.
Mm-hmm.
It's about shifting your mindset
Okay.
from transactions to connections
Yeah.
and really understanding that your customers, they're people, right?
Yeah.
They have emotions. They're not just numbers on a spreadsheet.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day
Oh, for sure.
and kind of lose sight of that.
Absolutely.
So what can we do?
Right.
Like, we don't have to completely overhaul our businesses overnight, right?
No, not at all.
So what are some smaller steps we can take?
Yeah, just start by incorporating some of the principles we've talked about today. Practice empathy in your customer interactions.
Mhm.
Personalize your communications.
Yeah.
Tell authentic stories that resonate with your audience.
Yeah, I like those. Those are good starting points.
Yeah, small steps can lead to big changes.
Absolutely.
And remember, building emotional loyalty, it's an ongoing process, right?
It's not a one-time thing.
No, it's about consistently showing your customers that you care,
Right.
you value their business, and you're committed to creating a positive experience for them.
Okay, we're going to take a quick pause here.
Okay.
But when we come back for our final segment,
Yeah.
we'll leave you with one final thought to ponder
Mhm.
as you kind of embark on your own emotional loyalty journey. So stay with us. All right, welcome back. I gotta say, this deep dive into emotional loyalty, It's given me a lot to think about.
Me too. It's really interesting stuff.
We've covered so much: empathy,
Yeah.
personalization, storytelling, even using those negative comments to your advantage.
It's amazing how it all ties together.
It is. It's all about building these lasting relationships with your customers.
And ultimately, stronger relationships lead to real business results, right?
Exactly,
I
yeah.
mean, we're talking about better customer retention,
Yeah.
higher spending,
Mm,
and that word of mouth marketing that you can't buy.
the best kind.
The best.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's that one final thought you want to leave our listeners with?
I would challenge everyone listening to think about one small change they can make in their business
Oh,
this
right.
week to kind of start incorporating some of these principles.
I like that challenge. It doesn't have to be this huge overhaul, right?
No, not at all.
Just one little
It's
step.
just one small step in the right direction.
So what are some
Well,
examples?
maybe it's sending a handwritten thank you note to a loyal customer,
Oh, that's nice.
or taking the time to really listen to a complaint and come up with a truly creative solution.
Oh,
Maybe it's incorporating a customer suggestion into your product development, or even just acknowledging a customer's birthday with a personalized message.
little things can make a big difference.
Exactly.
That's all
Exactly.
about it's all about showing them that you care, right?
Yeah.
Not just about making a sale, but about building that real connection.
Yeah. I mean, it really all boils down to that, doesn't it?
It does.
Showing your customers that you see them, that you
Yeah.
value them.
And even those small gestures, they can have like a ripple effect, right?
They really can.
Because when you make a customer feel good, they're more likely to come back,
Yeah.
spend more,
Spend more, tell their friends.
tell their friends. Yeah,
It's a win-win for everyone.
it really is.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into emotional loyalty.
Wow, that went fast.
It did. It did.
Time flies when you're having fun.
That's right. So we hope this has given you some valuable insights and some actionable ideas that you can take back to your own business.
Absolutely.
It's been such a pleasure exploring these concepts with you. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. And until next time, keep those minds curious and keep exploring.